Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Rebellious Voice. This is Hernandez. Hopefully everyone is doing great. And today we will be talking about an article called The Great Donkification, which was featured in Zero Hedge and Economic Prism. This article draws similarities between reality and the story of Pinocchio, particularly the scene where the children go to a pleasure island or toyland, depending on the version of Pinocchio that you've seen.
Right here, boys, right here. Get your cake, pie, new pickles, and ice cream. Eat all you can. Be a glutton. Stuff yourselves. It's all free, boys. It's all free. Hurry, 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 hurry.
The children are enticed to the island where they indulge in their wants and even partake in some destruction similar to that of last year's peaceful protests. People, however, have been enticed by free money. That's right. And they chant, free money, free money. There's videos on YouTube where people go on a stimulus shopping spree where they burn up the money within a few minutes to a couple hours on wants, not needs. And they continue to yell, free money, more money, free money, more money, because it just isn't enough. They want it all for free. And the Fed prints out tons of money. The country amasses more debt, and people are handed a stimulus to keep them compliant and docile. I occasionally ask myself, do people even know that they're walking on the wrong path? Do they even care? Who the hell knows? Do they even wonder whether there will be consequences to pay? Because for one, it's not about the covaids, and it's not a rescue of the American people or a rescue of the people. Nope, you are only getting this giveaway because they have to bail out and pad the pockets of so many. Otherwise, the plan fails. But they gotta keep it going. Plan has to continue. Why stop now? The author mentions this great quote. Once a nation has taken a trip to Pleasure Island, there's no going back. Free money, you see, is so delicious that too much is never enough. But beware, Pleasure Island is a trap. Those who stay too long succumb to the deadly curse. And what happens in Pinocchio? The children learn rather fast because they start to grow ears, they start to grow tails, they start to get furry, their hands and feet become hooves, and then they lose their ability to speak. Their clothes are disposed of, they're put into cages and sold into hard labor in the salt mines. Likewise, what do you think might happen to people after this is done and over with, when the plan is completed with a devalued dollar, inflation, a collapsed economy? People will become financially dependent on the government and those in control, don't you think? I honestly think people are asking or demanding the wrong things. For one, they should be demanding that the government get out of our business and demanding a fair shot, a fair opportunity without government, corporate, or globalist intervention in our affairs. People need to demand freedom in this era of tyranny, not free money and everything else, where we build and forge our own cages. Many entrepreneurs and business people know that if you want to start a business, or just anyone that's curious knows that if you want to start a business, you have to deal with all types of cartels, and each of them has their handout for a payment for licensure, taxes, insurance, labor protection. And nowadays people have to deal with the damn health department, not for food safety, and maybe even OSHA here in the future, imposing some of that covaids tyranny and stupid mandates. Come on, friends, people's businesses are shuttered with the foot of tyranny on their neck. But who shuts down the government, the corporations, the globalists? Not a soul. That falls onto each and every one of us to push back, and this stops when we say
no, no more.
Otherwise, in the end, people will end up in the cages that they forged themselves, accepting the tyranny, and they will be told,
In you go. You morsel bring a nice price.
Let me out of here!
Quiet! You boys have had your fun. Now pay for it.
Be quiet. You people had fun. Now pay for it.
There's another article called, In a Post-Covaids World, Customers Will Be Revenge Shopping. Will you be revenge shopping? Hopefully not. It says people have pent-up emotions after a year of the covaids and the tyranny and will be revenge shopping. It states that they will be armed with stimulus checks and have already rolled up their sleeves and be suffering from shopping withdrawals. people are described as if they're consumerist fiends.
Drug addicts.
And the National Retail Federation says they predict a 6.5 to 8.2% growth in retail in 2021. Of course, we all know it's a manipulated growth where your stimulus that you thought was just yours will stimulate someone else. The article mentions that malls and retails are going to be the big winners, the big wieners in this, after being decimated by the pandemic, or in other words, decimated by government mandates and tyranny. Then at the end of the article, the author finally remembers the millions of people who still have financial hardships and troubles. Yeah, friends, maybe it's a little too late. Maybe the stimulus is already spent, but don't go revenge shopping. Free yourself of any type of slavery that chains you. Pay off some debts. Become more independent.
You can do it.
And of course, as I've mentioned in previous videos, the covaids tests, man, those things have become a cash cow for certain emergent centers, like mini market doctor shops that claim they're emergent. As a guy in Texas found out, he wanted to feel really rosy inside, so he went to go do a covaids test in this one facility in Texas. And although his insurance company paid for it, when he got the bill about how much they paid for that test,
and the reality was quite stark. That ended up being almost $2,000.
Come on. So in the same manner, people want to get into the game. They want some of that cash. Compete, don't complain. So guess who has gotten into it? Which was just doing fast food and some other crap. DoorDash. In certain areas, they will be helping the covaids business continue. They will be delivering test kits so you could scam yourself. One of them is by Health Vault, costing only
$119.
a little extra, so you can be supervised by a practitioner who gets paid to see you spit and scam yourself. And the other by Everly Well,
Which is only $109.
With a gentle swab.
and no supervision. They may not need to supervise you because they've probably already been watching you. This is actually an Austin-based company that is advised by a scientific advisory board, including the top handpicked scientists from Harvard, MIT, and wait for it, Google. That's right. Yes, Google. Oh, great choices. There were also some interesting articles from The Atlantic. One is actually called "Following Your Gut Isn't the Right Way to Go." Can you believe that? And part of the title says,
The experts had a rough year. We still have to trust them.
yeah, right. Let's dumpster dive into this trash. Here we go.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
And the final article, it's pretty much death. It's about cicadas with a pinch of big pharma propaganda, of course. Everything has to include the covaids in it now in some way or form. The article mentions people are having a hard time dealing with the ongoing pandemic and a cicada storm which has the potential to ruin outdoor gathering plans. Summer weddings are being moved indoors in preparation for the non-issue. And here comes the propaganda. Are you ready? Families are counting on guests to have rolled up their sleeves. That had to make it in there, huh? It was just coincidence that made it in there. One mother of the bride, a zombie, has an imaginary phobia of someone propping the door open for a delivery, and a cicada gets in.
Oh no.
And what? Will it kill everyone? Or maybe it'll hack everyone. Cicada 3301 style or something. Anyways, the interesting part of the article is about the cicadas. That's what it should be about Brood X, which will emerge this year as they do every 13 or 17 years. Except the fake news is so attached to the fear porn that they can't let that go. Any opportunity is an opportunity. The greatest message in this article, though, is the response that the interviewee gives to the fear porner interviewer. The interviewer says,
I think a lot of people are dreading the emergence of the cicadas because we're dealing with so much this year. Oh no. What would you say to them? What would you say to those people?
and Jessica Ware says, the one pictured on screen with the mask, in order to not spread the covaids to the cicada. This is something we should celebrate. It's really exciting. It's a biological phenomenon that's interesting, but also like a time capsule. If you had a baby today, they'll be graduating high school when the brood is next out, which I think is exciting to see. That's right, people. Enjoy life. Celebrate each day and live the moment. Don't falter into fear. Life is beautiful. Nature is beautiful. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, study, read, and draw your own conclusion. Thank you. We'll see you next time.